Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on IETVTT.com. I am Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Busesa announces tax-free pension payments under Finance Bill 2026. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur assesses impact of Middle East crisis on Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Edward Alexander, Defense Procurement Regulator blames PNM for weakening anti-corruption laws. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Busesa has announced that pension payments from approved funds will be exempt from income tax under the upcoming Finance Bill 2026. She said the measure, which takes effect from January 1st, 2026, will apply to both pension plans and deferred annuity schemes in Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister noted that the move fulfills a key election promise and was previously outlined in the national budget, adding that it is now being formalized through legislation. She explained that the tax exemption is aimed at providing greater financial relief and security for retirees as part of broader efforts to support citizens in their post-employment years.
I am authorized by Cabinet to make the following statement with respect to the status of a measure stated in the 2026 budget statement by the Honourable Minister of Finance relating to exemption from income tax on pension payments received from approved pension fund plans and approved deferred annuity plans within the meaning of the Income Tax Act, Chapter 7501. Mr. Speaker, this government remains firmly committed to improving the lives of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and ensuring that the promises we make are promises we keep. This government was elected on a clear promise to put people first, to ease the burden on working families, and to ensure that after a lifetime of contribution, citizens can retire with dignity and peace of mind. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, as part of the upcoming finance bill that will be before this Parliament shortly, before the close of this session, my government is introducing a major reform to our tax system, one that will exempt from income tax the pension payments received from approved pension fund plans and approved deferred annuity plans.
Minister of Finance Devendranath Thakur has shared insights on the potential impact of the ongoing Middle East crisis on Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Here's more. Speaking while attending the 2026 IMF spring meetings in Washington, D.C., Minister Thakur highlighted concerns over global economic uncertainty and its possible ripple effects on small energy-dependent economies. He noted that developments in the Middle East could influence global energy prices, supply chains and trade dynamics, all of which have direct implications for Trinidad and Tobago's economic performance. The minister also pointed to the importance of maintaining economic resilience and strategic planning as the country navigates external shocks in an increasingly volatile global environment. The IMF spring meetings bring together global finance leaders to assess economic risks and coordinate policy responses, with discussions this year heavily influenced by geopolitical tensions and their impact on global markets.
You can say it's outside. We didn't expect this event in the Middle East. What we expected was a continuation of the development agenda that we had set as a government. So we had started negotiating with Exxon, with Shell, with the international multinational agencies. We started doing deep water drilling, things that were not done previously. We had expanded LNG production and gas production as well. So we were operating outside of this incident, and the expectation was that by 2027 and 2027 into 2028, the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, at least the energy sector of the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, which is the largest foreign exchange generator, would have started to pick up and move upwards. We would have been working with the United States in terms of accessing the dragon gas in Venezuela as well. Those initiatives were outside of this Middle East event. And therefore, all that happened is in the Middle East events, which would have given up the increased revenue, as it were, simply meant that we would get to our goal faster. Yeah. We would get to the development of the economic sector in Trinidad and Tobago, the energy sector in particular, a bit faster than what we had initially planned and projected going forward. We've remained true to path. We're just getting there fast.
The minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Edward Alexander, is saying that the Office of the Procurement Regulator is carrying out its mandate and forms part of a framework established by the United National Congress. He further asserted that the legislation was later weakened, facilitating corruption.
And the irony of P&M trolls like Camille Robinson-Regis and Stuart Young celebrating that the Office of Procurement Regulator is doing its job is laugh out loud funny. I'll tell you why. Because with the P&M, other trolls and talking heads on social media spreading this. This is part of the process that was designed by the United National Congress. It is because of Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the People's Partnership Government there is an OPR in the first place. In fact, the P&M dragged their feet into finally fully proclaiming it and watered down the legislation to facilitate government corruption, which I'm sure is going to be fixed.
He stated that it was the United National Congress that protected the economy and the Treasury from the impact of People's National Movement corruption.
It is the United National Congress that has protected the economy, the Treasury, from the devastating effects of P&M corruption. So when P&M trolls and talking heads and video makers want to convince you, confuffle you and fool you, I want you to remind them, A, this is a fully expected part of the process. Not everything of this size is going to go through as seamlessly and as easily as they want it. We want them to kick the tires. We want them to investigate. We want them, if you find problems, let us fix it. This is the point where we want to fix it. We don't want to fix it oops down the road when we find out Johnny O'Halloran thief $500 billion and leave 3 towers in Canada for his children. We don't want to find out where Trinidad money was stolen under the P&M and banked in Panama. We don't want to talk about it after the fact when 2 P&M government ministers under Eric Williams end up owning a whole mountain in Santa Cruz. Come on.
We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Minister of Public Utilities Barry Podarath and Aruka Lopino MP responded to Marvin Gonzalez over ongoing delays in repairs to the El Socorro booster station. During the debate, Minister Podarath said the facility is now receiving critical attention following what he described as a decade of neglect. He confirmed that efforts to restore water supply have been further delayed due to a motor failure at the station. However, he assured that the Water and Sewerage Authority has already implemented measures to address the issue. The matter sparked concern in the House as disruptions at the booster station continue to impact water supply to affected communities. Minister Podarath maintained that steps are being taken to resolve the problem and restore normal service in the shortest possible time.
After at least 5 ministers of public utilities under the People's National Movement between 2015 and 2025, cutting $500 million at least in the area of materials and supplies to WASA, for the first time in just 5 years, for the first time, Mr. Speaker, in 5 years, the El Socorro booster station is receiving attention from this administration because none was paid attention under the last government and the last Minister of Public Utilities. Mr. Speaker, I wish to advise that while there has been a delay in achieving full restoration at the El Socorro booster station, WASA continues to actively manage the situation through structured operational controls and targeted contingency measures to ensure the continuity of potable water supply. At present, the booster station is operating at approximately 50% capacity, supported by one functional unit. A comprehensive truck-borne distribution remains in effect, prioritizing critical infrastructure, including healthcare and educational facilities, as well as vulnerable and elevated communities.
Minister of the People and Social Development and Family Services Vandana Mohit has approved a 30,000 grant to support a holistic Women's Wellness Day initiative targeting vulnerable women across Trinidad and Tobago. The funding was provided to the NGO serving women and youth and will assist in hosting an event aimed at empowering more than 60 women with tools, information and support systems to improve their health and overall well-being. The initiative is expected to benefit a wide cross-section of participants, including single mothers, caregivers and individuals supporting persons with disabilities and chronic illnesses by providing a safe space for engagement, education and personal development. Minister Mohed said the program reflects the government's commitment to people-centered development, noting that investing in women directly strengthens families and communities. She added that partnerships with organizations like SWAY are key to extending support services and ensuring that vulnerable groups receive the assistance needed to improve their quality of life. The minister says the grant forms part of its broader effort to promote inclusion, social support, and community-based development initiatives. A new documentary examining the fallout from ArcelorMittal's 2016 closure in Point Lisas has reignited calls for stronger labor protections in Trinidad and Tobago. Here's more. Speaking at the launch of the film Echoes from the Furnace, the Men and Women ArcelorMittal Left Behind, Minister of Labour, Small and Micro Enterprise Development Leroy Batiste said the documentary provides an opportunity to reflect on workers' welfare, their rights, and the responsibility of companies to the people they employ. He noted that the film highlights the retrenchment of approximately 700 workers following the company's closure, an event that had a significant impact on both families and the wider economy. Minister Batiste pointed out that between 2010 and 2015, the steel industry accounted for a major share of manufacturing and non-energy exports, underscoring its importance to economic diversification. He added that the plant shutdown led to a sharp decline in non-energy exports in the years that followed. The minister said the situation has reinforced the need for legislation reform, stressing that job loss and displacement must be addressed through deliberate and forward-thinking policies. He revealed that government is currently reviewing and updating labour laws to ensure they are modern, relevant and responsive to today's workforce, with the aim of balancing the needs of employers while safeguarding workers' rights and livelihoods. Minister Batiste added that strengthening labour protections remains a priority as efforts continue to prevent a repeat of similar circumstances in the future.
This documentary stands as a testament to the courage of those who endured displacement, to the continuing advocacy of the Steel Workers Union of Trinidad and Tobago, and to the importance of preserving these narratives so that we can ensure that this simply cannot happen again. Job loss, displacement, and uncertainty cannot be treated as inevitable byproducts of progress. Instead, they must be addressed through deliberate, compassionate, and forward-thinking policies. Between 2010 and 2015, the iron steel industry accounted for an average of 84.2% of manufacturing exports and 32.7% of non-energy exports, highlighting its importance to economic diversification efforts.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is accusing CARICOM of what she describes as a corrupt backroom operation, warning that it is undermining the regional body and harming Caribbean citizens. Here's more.
In a strongly worded statement, the Prime Minister criticized remarks from CARICOM Chairman Terence Drew, which sought to dismiss concerns raised by Trinidad and Tobago over the reappointment of Secretary General Carla Barnett. She argued that key issues remain unresolved, including a WhatsApp message allegedly sent to CARICOM foreign ministers on the morning of a February retreat, an issue she says has not been addressed despite what she described as supporting evidence from Foreign Affairs Minister Sean Sobers. The Prime Minister also alleged dysfunction and dishonesty within the CARICOM Secretariat, claiming its leadership favors political allies over qualified professionals. Despite the criticism, she reaffirmed that Trinidad and Tobago will remain part of CARICOM, citing decades of national investment in the regional body. However, she warned that the matter will continue to be publicly pursued until accountability and reforms are achieved, insisting that the country's economic, security and development interests must be protected. The Prime Minister is also maintaining her call for documentation related to the reappointment process, including official minutes and performance records, as scrutiny of the issue continues.
You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
The following is a paid advertisement.
When UNC wins, everybody wins.
The United National Congress presents Congress and Report to the Nation on Saturday, 25th April 2026 at Couva South Hall Car Park, Couva Main Road. Join the UNC family as we celebrate 37 years of the United National Congress. Registration of delegates from 1 p.m. The feature address will be presented by the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and a host of powerful speakers. This program will be carried live on IETV.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. Minister of Land and Legal Affairs Saddam Hussein has chaired a high-level meeting aimed at modernizing Trinidad and Tobago's construction and development approval framework. Here's more.
The meeting held at Government Plaza focused on improving the ease of doing business and simplifying the approval process for citizens and developers. Government has set a target of achieving all statutory approvals within 45 days. To meet this goal, technical teams from the Tongue and Country Planning Division, Environmental Management Authority, Water and Sewerage Authority, and the Drainage Division explored a range of strategies to streamline operations. Also participating in the discussions were Minister of Planning Kennedy Swarat Singh, Minister of Works and Infrastructure Julian John, and Minister of Rural Development Khadija Amin. Minister Hossain said the initiative will reduce long-standing bureaucratic delays by introducing more efficient systems, including the expanded use of the Develop TT platform to digitize approvals and improve transparency. He added that government has already agreed to remove the country medical officer of health from the routine approval process and is now examining other bottlenecks as part of a wider effort to deliver a faster, more accountable system for national development.
Let's now take a look at some international news.
To Tonight, the tense standoff on the high seas. An American-guided missile destroyer stopping an Iranian-flagged cargo ship that tried to evade the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports. It's one of 10 Iran-linked ships the U.S. has forced to turn around. Central Command saying no ships have broken through the blockade. And tonight, we're hearing the dramatic new warnings the U.S. Navy is issuing to ships in the region.
If you do not comply with this blockade, we will use force. The whole of the United States Navy is ready to force compliance. Now,
the U.S. looking to put maximum pressure on Iran, with thousands more U.S. forces set to arrive in the region soon. Iran calling the blockade a violation of the ceasefire, warning it'll stop any exports and imports in the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman and the Red Sea. It comes as President Trump hints at a second round of peace talks in the coming days.
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over.
But he's made those predictions before, now 7 weeks into this war, and just days after suggesting high gas prices could last through the midterm elections in November. Tonight, the president's saying prices will be lower by the midterms.
Gasoline's coming down very soon, and very big.
So you think gas prices will be lower before the midterm elections?
I think they'll be much lower before midterm, much lower, yes.
Okay. Now, you've suggested...
I mean, that's on the assumption that we stop a country that cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Tonight, powerful storms are threatening millions from North Texas to the southern Great Lakes. Night 3 of a multi-day severe weather outbreak is underway. East of Cedar Rapids in Onslow, Iowa, Lenny Miller caught this massive textbook rope tornado tearing across the landscape as the storms fired up Tuesday night. The system dumping massive hail.
Appears to be a tornado. Touchdown.
This industrial park in the Milwaukee suburb of Sussex taking a direct hit from an EF2 tornado with 120-mile-an-hour winds, destroying Ashley Shelton's garage door business. About an hour and a half northwest of Madison, a tornado tore through Union Center, Wisconsin, sending trees onto homes, cars, and power lines. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, strong winds knocking down the wall at this ice rink. Northeast of Grand Rapids, Michigan,
we're trying to round up this mess.
First responders wrangling hundreds of cows that got loose after a confirmed tornado destroyed multiple barns at Janet Hull's family farm in Fenwick.
When we return, your weather update and more, stay tuned.
In our lives, there are moments that need to be remembered. Are you hosting a Ramayan Yagya, religious or cultural event or celebration? Would you like to have it aired live on IETV or recorded for playback later? We will air your program on IETV and IE Radio, with your viewers joining locally and internationally. Your family and friends worldwide can view on www.ietvtt.com or listen on ieradiott.com. To make arrangements, call or WhatsApp IETV at 784-9880. Let us record your cherished moments and share it.
Let's do India and Nepal, a soulful journey across timeless destinations. Delhi, Kathmandu, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Agra, and Jaipur. August 12th to 28th. Presented by Pandit Omarat. Call 681-3476 to book now. Not just a trip, it's a spiritual and cultural experience.
Welcome back to IE's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
Today was generally partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy across Trinidad and Tobago, with warm and humid conditions throughout the day. During the afternoon, there were periods of increased cloudiness, bringing isolated to scattered showers, mainly across central, eastern, and southern districts, while other areas remained mostly fair. Daytime temperatures reached around 32 to 33 degrees in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago. Winds were light to moderate from the east at 15 to 20 kilometers kilometers per hour. Sea conditions were slight to moderate with waves between 1.5 and 1.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sea levels remained within normal limits. Tonight is expected to be mostly cloudy with a few brief showers, particularly during the late evening and early morning hours. Conditions will remain warm and humid with overnight temperatures settling around 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. Winds will remain light to moderate from the east, while seas will continue slight to moderate with waves near 1.0 to 1.5 meters. Sea levels are expected to remain normal, though slightly choppy conditions are possible in open waters. For Saturday, expect mostly cloudy skies with a few showers likely, especially later in the day, bringing slightly more unsettled conditions compared to previous delays. Temperatures are forecast to reach around 32 to 33 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and near 31 degrees Celsius in Tobago, with humid conditions continuing. Winds will be east to northeasterly at 15 to 20 kilometers per hour, and seas will remain slight to moderate with waves up to 1.5 to 2.0 meters in open waters and around 1 meter in sheltered areas, while sea levels remain within the normal range.
Let's take a look at some crime news.
The Tobago Divisional Task Force conducted a targeted raid and search operation in the early hours of April 14th. As part of ongoing efforts to combat illegal firearms and criminal activity across the island, the exercise carried out between 3:15 a.m. and 4:15 a.m. took place at Belmont Farm Road, Mason Hall within the Scarborough Police District. The operation was executed under the State of Emergency Powers regulations based on intelligence relating to the possible storage of illegal firearms, ammunition and narcotics. During the exercise, officers recovered a significant sum of cash at the premises. One individual was arrested and is currently assisting police with inquiries into the origin of the money. Investigations are ongoing to determine the total value and circumstances surrounding the find. The Tobago Divisional Task Force continues to intensify operations aimed at targeting priority offenders and disrupting criminal networks. The public is reminded that efforts are part of a broader strategy to ensure safety and security throughout Tobago. A Special Reserve Police officer has been arrested and charged following investigation conducted by the Special Victims Department. A part-time Special Reserve Police constable attached to the Moriah Police Station was arrested on 15th April and is expected to appear before the Tobago Assizes on Thursday, 16th April. He has been charged with kidnapping, false imprisonment, and common assault. Investigations revealed that on Tuesday, 18th March, the victim, who was at the time in a common law relationship with the accused, was walking along Village Street, Mount St. George, when she was approached by the accused in a motor vehicle. The accused allegedly forced the victim into the vehicle against her will and restrained her using handcuffs. He then drove to a forested area off Dam Road, Mount St. George, where the victim was reportedly assaulted and threatened with a cutlass. The accused later released the victim and returned her to her residence. Investigations were conducted by Corporal James, who compiled and submitted a file to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Following legal advice received, charges were laid against the accused. The operation was coordinated and supervised by Superintendent Daryl Ramdas, ASP Avril Francis. Executive oversight was provided by DCP Natasha George and ACP Rishi Singh.
Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar announces tax-free pension payments under Finance Bill 2026. Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku assesses impact of Middle East crisis on Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Minister in the Ministry of Housing Philip Edward Alexander defends procurement regulator blames PNM for weakening anti-corruption laws. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dumais. Thank you for joining us.